Yes, I know we did an anti before, but we can never have too many videos on them. Gotta keep the ball rolling, you know. Today we're going over a person known as JuniDraws. The video is titled, What is Mesugaki Miku? Bratty Loli Miku. That's it, that's the end of the video. Just kidding, let's get into it.
Also, before we start this video, triggering topics may be in here, such as discussions of Lolabait and inappropriate media containing minors or referencing minors.
Lolabait? Like the bunny? You're complaining about a subject you can't even pronounce properly.
And with that said, let's get straight into today's video. Now, considering that the video itself has over 12 million views by now, I'm sure you've seen it, or at the very least heard of it. Commonly referred to as Uno Miku, Mimukauwa Miku is a new Miku-themed song, and it has become very controversial as of late. And this drama surrounds the fact that many people are accusing this Miku song to be Lolabait.
If you mean lollybait, then it is, and that's why we love it.
And for those of you who don't know what Lolabait is, it's defined as an overly suggestive material surrounding young girls or themes of younger girls for the purpose of attracting Lolacon.
Not young girls, lolies, as in fictional. Should I even bother pointing out the mispronunciations?
Which are people who like to indulge in explicit and suggestive media involving younger girls or referencing them.
Fictional anime 2D girls. Not real. You keep omitting that detail to imply these people are predators, but it's not gonna work with us.
However, despite the strangeness and sexual nature of this music video, I don't believe it's Lolabait.
Wait. So, you're not here to be an anti? You're not here to give the same 10 arguments normies have been giving? Then why am I even here? Surely this must have been on the playlist for a reason.
Well, more accurately, it isn't Lolabait. It's actually loli content.
Oh, wait, what? What's the difference? That makes even less sense.
And this is much worse. Essentially, Lolabait only applies when the character it's centered around only looks like a child, but is not one. Basically referencing it as that whole, oh, she's not 10, she's actually 2,000 years old, you know?
That doesn't make sense. No one actually makes that argument, despite aunties insisting that people do.
But this is loli content, which essentially means that the character involved is a confirmed child.
The word you're looking for is loli.
The creator of the character and the music video, known as Nu, has referred to this Miku as Mesugaki Miku before. Mesugaki is a Lolabait/loli heavy term that essentially refers to a young girl who is bratty and likes to tease adults and older men in a sexual nature. And let me add that this phrase is utilized in a sexual context on purpose.
As if we don't know what a bratty loli is.
And there is also more to the word Mesugaki that I cannot mention in this video without getting demonetized. But let's just say that the phrase involves more than just teasing and definitely isn't consensual.
Rape correction. The word you're looking for is rape correction. That's the phrase you mean. Hot loli sex rape correction. There, I explained it.
So yeah, this is loli content. On top of this, the creator, Nu, is also a previously known and identified Lolacon.
In other news, the sky is blue, the grass is green, my tits are huge, and the floor is made of floor.
Who is already known for posting Lolabait and Lola content on their socials.
How unheard of! The person who made the lolly music video makes lolly art? Who would have guessed?
And although I cannot find any direct screenshots of this, there are a lot of claims circling around that Nu also stated that Mesugaki Miku, the Miku in the music video, is 10 years old.
She's a fictional character, so even if that is true, it doesn't matter.
Which, if true, makes this so much worse. But besides this fact, most people are split between absolutely loving this song and absolutely hating it.
If the absolutely hating it side is from TikTok, then good. We don't want the TikTok freaks in the Miku fandom.
And obviously, I fall more to the latter.
I'm glad you're offended.
I find this song absolutely atrocious. Besides the character design, the animation is actually very smooth and, easy to look at.
Man, I really hate this animation. Just look at how good it is.
But the sound design is absolutely diabolical. Obviously, I understand that Miku has a wide vocal range, but in my opinion, the tuning on Miku's voice is terrible. It doesn't even sound like her anymore. And I've seen so many people with similar opinions as me.
It's made to make her sound like a loli because, as you said, she's a loli.
The random sound effects and boom effects really throw off the tuning in general.
They're supposed to convey the teasing and playful nature of a bratty loli, bullying you into submission in a cute way.
And it's really hard to focus on what she's saying when she starts screaming Neko randomly.
The music video has subtitles.
Not to mention all the random moaning, and for what?
Because it's hot!
Another thing people are debating about is whether or not the character design is just chibi or actual lolabait.
Better question, who cares?
But this is clearly not chibi. It's simply just a design tactfully made to look like a child.
You mean loli?
And on top of all of this, did we forget the random suggestive outfits in the MV? For starters, there's the whole white shirt, no pants thing, which, yes, of course, her arms are covered, but let's not go by what is covered, and let's focus on what isn't.
Apparently dress shirts are suggestive now. I guess Gargura's outfit is considered revealing, because she has the same outfit basically.
The fact that she's wearing an oversized shirt in this specific design threw me off immediately when I watched the MV. And the fact that she has no visible pants on but is wearing thigh highs and a garter belt threw me off so hard. For starters, the whole white shirt, no pants thing is a very common trope in shows, mainly animes and, that kind of thing, that alludes to either fan service or heavily suggestive content.
Apparently risky business is an ecchi now. Yep, that scene is porn solely because the guy wears no pants and a dress shirt.
And it makes a character look younger and smaller in comparison to their big, oversized outfit. And this isn't even mentioning the whole cat maid outfit thing, because that's a whole nother can of worms.
Unlike a can of worms, I'll gladly open it up.
And in case I could make it even more obvious, she literally states that if the opposing player wins, she'll let him do, quote-unquote, whatever he wants, which is exactly what it sounds like it's implying, by the way.
Wow, sounds like stakes are high. Good thing our main character wins in the end.
I've also seen a lot of people dismissing the matter, saying stuff like, you wouldn't have survived the old Vocaloid fandom.
Yeah, you wouldn't have.
Think about Plus Boy or Rabbit Hole.
Exactly.
And to that I say, although there are other suggestive songs in media, and although there are explicit Vocaloid songs, we are not talking about those. We are talking about this one.
You claim that people pointing out hypocrisy is dismissive, and then you take those criticisms and actually dismiss them. Do you not see the irony?
But if you still insist, I am open to compare. And in reference to the old Vocaloid fandom, obviously most songs are suggestive and or lolabait. I wouldn't have wanted to be included in a fandom that essentially is a cesspool for creeps anyways.
Then why are you a part of the fandom now? These creeps were the reason Miku is popular in the first place.
But the old Vocaloid fandom, it's really not that bad.
One of the most popular MMD videos of the past is literally an animation about Miku wanting Kaido to drink her pee. Need more proof? What about the Pafu Pafu saga? Still not enough? What about Come True, Tiny Marisa? A Vocaloid animation about Miku's boob envy? With Kaido saying how he loves her flat-chested. One of the jokes being that Miku doesn't have panties while running in the city. All of that is fringe and sexual already, very based, but there's also the fact that Miku is 16. Also, Kaido, the Vocaloid that people have seemed to have forgotten about, but also the guy Miku is often shipped with, is meant to be a male pervert. With the joke about him being that he gets naked a lot, with the only thing covering his dick being his scarf. And let's not forget about all the Fujoshi who like Len, a teenager. Face it, the Vocaloid fandom was wacky, deviant, fringe, lewd, sexy, and silly. And we fucking loved it, and we still love it. Stuff like Mesugaki Miku, Rabbit Hole Miku, or even Brazilian Miku aren't anything new. They're just keeping up the legacy that is the fandom's roots. And if you can't handle it, then maybe stick to making music on the Casio Ratman.
But I digress. Let's do comparisons between some other explicit Vocaloid songs, and for this I'll be using the one that I've seen discussed the most in reference to Uno Miko, which of course is Rabbit Hole. Rabbit Hole was a very popular Miku MV a few months ago, and it was heavily suggestive. Please note that I will not be discussing whether this is Pure or Miku in the video in this context, because it really doesn't matter for the sake of this. Anyways, suggestive doesn't always entail bad.
Exactly, though as I said, there are more fringe Vocaloid stuff from the days before.
Sometimes things are just explicit for the sake of being explicit, which is perfectly fine if it's an adult. And this is definitely the case with Rabbit Hole.
Miku is 16.
I feel like no one is addressing the fact, but Rabbit Hole Miku is very clearly an adult. Despite the sort of cutesy chibi art style she's designed in, she obviously looks like an adult.
But the thing is that, like Rabbit Hole Miku, Mesugaki Miku is fictional.
Especially when it comes to her body type. Obviously, I don't want this to sound creepy, so please don't take it as such. But the difference between Pure Miku in the Rabbit Hole MV and Uno Miku is that Uno Miku has very prominent features of a child. She has the body of a child, and even more so, looks small when compared to the oversized shirt she's wearing.
The height of consent, the face shape of consent, the skin tone of consent, the emotion of consent, the elf ears of consent, and now the shirt of consent. This joke is continuing to write itself.
The song is weird and it's loli content, yes, but I don't think we should be harassing the people who enjoy the song. For starters, they may just like the song itself or really don't understand the meaning of the MV.
Or they understand it's fictional and not real.
The only place I see a problem with it is when people are actively defending it. Of course, they may just like the song, but as I stated earlier, I don't think the song is good enough to warrant defending it that hard.
Well, we go against aunties, so you're wrong there. We cover aunties like you all the time. Everyone knows that.
Plus, most of the defense is coming from people who are aware that it's loli content and don't care / enjoy it. Most of the people being kids and older teens, which is, once again, a whole nother can of worms, and I'm not gonna delve into that.
Even the younger generation isn't buying into the Puritan anti-agenda. Glad to see that we're biggering and biggering.
But at the end of the day, there were measures that could have been taken to ensure that this Miku didn't look like a child.
Then it wouldn't be a bratty loli.
But they purposely disregarded that idea in favor of a much more inappropriate and, for lack of a better term, pedophilic perspective.
There is a better term, Lolacon. Because Lolacon isn't pedophilia.
The artist is a well-known creep already, but because of their popularity with their songs and content, and the fact that they do not cater to an English/American audience, most people don't even know the extent to their media.
Firstly, are we gonna elaborate on this creep accusation, or are we just gonna leave it ambiguous to call him a pedophile? Secondly, he doesn't need to cater to Westerners. In fact, it's better if he doesn't.
It truthfully doesn't matter if loli is the quote-unquote norm in Japan. It's pushed a lot, but it's not the norm. I literally have no idea why people think that.
No one thinks that.
Because at the end of the day, when we get to a point that the only means of defending something is comparing it to another media, we have already failed at proving its individuality.
Because clearly things can't be inspired by other things.
Because comparing media to something else does not make the source material any different or any better, and perspective always goes both ways. Of course, I'm aware that I'm very late to talking about this drama, and it's not an insane drama either.
Twitter and TikTok freaks getting triggered over lolis isn't drama.
But it's still something I wanted to talk about. Since there's been so much confusion around it, I thought it'd be nice if someone were to clear it up in a video format.
Which is why I'm here.
Also, please let me know if I missed anything about the MV itself, and please just let me know in the comments. Just try to be a little nice.
No promises.
Although I do collect figures and I love Vocaloid, I'm typically not very on top of things in fandoms.
I already established that, but okay.
And before you go to type your comment, please note that complaining about the new Vocaloid fans isn't a criticism.
How so? You're unfamiliar with how things are around here and pressure people to abide by your status quo. Anyways, gamers, have a good night!